What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Josh. Here live on YouTube Live again and again and again and again. You see the title of this video. This is Best of WWE 2016 recap. Now, what does that mean? Ladies and gentlemen, I'll openly admit I really wasn't going to do a best of show for this past year. I wasn't interested in it because it's for me personally. Like I did it for 3 years on my old radio show, and it was just a different format where I could separate it out with commercial breaks and do different awards for different segments on the show. From a broadcasting point of view, I have fun doing award shows when it's whether it's on radio or I have multiple people doing it at the same time. If it's just me here in a regular podcast format, just talking for 40 or 50 minutes, I get bored recording the show. And I don't want you guys to be bored while listening to this. But what we're going to do today, we're going to take a look back at the best of 2016 for the WWE. Me and Justin's overall thoughts on the year of the promotion, talk about some of our favorite matches or favorite superstars. If maybe some disappointments here there, I'm not sure. You guys know my drill. I don't lose sleep over this stuff, so I really don't get mad over the stuff that goes on with wrestling. It is what it is, to each his own. But I wanted to start out the show sending our condolences to the Manville family. For those that don't know, Elijah Manville, who played Drax's shadow, he was one of the young kids from Make-A-Wish that got to be part of the WWE promotion a couple years ago. And Drax Shadow impersonated Stardust, Cody Rhodes, and he was on Monday Night Raw one time. And Elijah Manville and the whole Manville family were big wrestling fans. And Elijah passed away today. He was 10 years old. Really unfortunate, man. Cancer is a bitch. I know from experience. I'm pretty sure most of you guys listening or watching this, I know for experience about dealing with deaths from cancer and all that. It's horrible, man. It comes out of nowhere, and sometimes we get lucky, sometimes we don't. But that also reminds you guys to be take life one day at a time and appreciate the stuff you do have. And that's what I do want to talk about today with wrestling, because I feel 2016 what's an awesome year. 2016 was an amazing year. But me and Justin do want to send our condolences to the Manville family. That's just absolutely horrible. And it sucks, man. It's truly horrible. But 2016 was a great year for wrestling, for at least in my opinion. But also a big topic to discuss is I really felt like, yes, while it was a great year, maybe it's just my point of view, but I felt like we took a lot of things when it comes, at least for the WWE programming, for granted in a lot of ways. And we'll dive into that. But I want to bring in my good buddy, a good brother for another mother. You hear him on the Sports Drive. He is a rap bastard. He hangs out with Laramie Tunsil on the weekends. He had the Gas Mask crew. I see him on the boat right now with Odell Beckham on the Colin Cowherd show. He is Justin Hill. What's going on, my man?
What's going on, peeps? What's going on? It's good to be back. It's good to be back to talk about wrestling and sports in general.
Now, me and Justin, we don't usually get a lot of time to talk about wrestling, whether unless it's our Facebook group chat and it's a little couple back and forth things. You guys probably are tired of me with my wrestling podcast or just me on the pipe bomb. But me and Justin are big wrestling fans, and I consider Justin a good brother. So I was like, you know what? I guess he was the right guy to do this, because I know there's already been like 20 or 30 different wrestling year-end award shows and stuff, but we're not doing that. This is a recap. Yes, we'll say what our favorite match or superstar of the year was, but still, this could be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. Let's get into this, shall we? I'll start off with you, Justin. Describe, at least in your opinion, 2016 of the WWE, just your general view of where the company is from last year, and are you with it? Are you not with it? Just your general view of this past year of programming.
Oh, it definitely is going into a new era. It's a great going into a new era. 2016 just gave me chills with Shane McMahon coming back, that was probably the most shocking thing in my opinion. And then AJ Styles, this year was just so many surprises, and it was a great time to be a wrestling fan in general, honestly. And I think they're heading into right direction with Shane McMahon being on board. He's probably going to be getting a lot more into the company now. So I'm on board.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you're wondering why my camera's off, when I record, sometimes in Google Hangouts, my stream freezes really, really bad, and you guys don't want to see the Viking beard I have right now, so it's best to keep my live mug off of air. But I agree with you, Justin. I knew it was rumored and talked about for a while, but I really felt like the brand split was probably the biggest takeaway I have for this year, at least in the positive direction, because it was what needed in at least today's wrestling. Because as obviously everybody knows about 3-hour Raws, and people say we have too much programming and it's oversaturated.
Yeah.
I think it's two different things here. I think you have an overconsumption of how you feel about something based off other people's opinions on social media and on podcasts. And secondly, I feel that it's not oversaturation. It really isn't in a long-term point of view, because wrestling, just like any other form of entertainment, is give you the platform to decide what do you want to watch. Nobody tells you to watch all 16 movies that are at your local movie theaters. Nobody's telling you to watch every single NBA game. Nobody's telling you to watch. Oh, no, this I can't say the NFL because you have the red zone, so you already get the opportunity to watch it. So I can't use that as an example. But you get my point. Also with baseball, nobody's telling you to watch all baseball games at one serving.
Yeah.
Yeah, is there a lot of wrestling program out there? Absolutely, and I know for experience because I cover most of these shows for the Zone of Wrestle. I shouldn't say cover. I'm kind of like the court stenographer in the courtroom that's just documenting everything that's going on in the show. That's basically what I do. But but I think 2016 was an awesome year. The fact that I felt, at least in my video, was more focused on more wrestling matches. I felt that the rise of SmackDown continues, even though I felt SmackDown was a better show than Raw for over a year and a half before the brand split started. But still, just the rise of stuff from Roman and AJ to Dean Ambrose to James Ellsworth.
Yeah, oh my god.
To who else? Even NXT, even in NXT, DIY, the Revival, just so many good performers. Any disappointments for this year, or anything you'd like to see change? Because this is probably the only portion of the show where it'll probably be like, this thing, but go ahead.
Yeah, the only there's some disappointments I had with Apollo Crews. He didn't do anything this past year. Hopefully he's gonna get a bigger improvement. Maybe at the Royal Rumble we'll have a good couple eliminations. And also, I really thought that Darren Young and Bob Luckin was gonna go somewhere, but that just tanked. That was a letdown.
I agree with Apollo Crews, but I think it was also a bad thing where you have the Raw at the WrestleMania era expects at least 4 to 5 NXT people to come on to every show after WrestleMania. And if they don't get that, it's a disappointment. We're just gonna be stuck with the same old stuff going into the summer. You know what I mean? And Apollo Crews is a victim of that. I really do. Yeah, he hasn't had a really long-term feud since he's came up. He's had good matches. I thought the one he had with Miz a couple weeks ago on SmackDown was really good. Looks like him and Ziggler might be getting into it. If you guys didn't see this past week's SmackDown, which I thought was really good.
Yeah, I agree.
He's just how one moment we could be like, oh yeah, we want cruiserweights, and then when you have them and they're having these awesome matches, and Brian Kendrick's killing as a heel, and all this other stuff on the side, Jack Gallagher, it's like, can the cruiserweights go away? They're not doing anything. They're not up to our living. It's not up. It's not like the WCW cruiserweights. Well, I would hope it's not like the WCW cruiserweights. I think we like to move on after 20 years.
Yeah. Which Jimmy Yang
but I think the perception of the cruiserweights is something that I'm disappointed with, because I do think it does add a different element to this show. Because let me ask you this. We all talk about WWE logic and this and all this other crap. So let's say we all love the Cruiserweight Classic, right? We loved that they had the purple ropes, they loved the lighting, they loved the fan engagement at Full Sail. They loved it, right?
Yep.
Now, let's say they just came out to Raw, right? And it was just, oh, hey, it's just here's the Cruiserweights with everybody else's you know what I mean, like same Raw production.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's just another part of the show. And then when they're doing the cruiserweights and they change, I saw this in person because Raw and SmackDown were in Chicago a couple weeks ago, so I got to see the production for the cruiserweights live in person. It's not easy, man. They tape the ropes. They don't rip off the ropes. They actually tape the color of the ropes with purple to change the setup. My thing is at least perception and presentation. One moment we want this for the cruiserweights, and then when we get it, oh, it's not this, it's not that. You know what I mean, Justin?
Yeah.
That happens a lot in wrestling. I got here's another disappointment, at least for me.
Mm-hmm.
At least for me, my point of view, TV matches in wrestling is very, very hard to do. Trust me. I think it is, because you got to deal with commercial breaks. You got to do this. You got to do that. But I think the laying out of certain matches when it comes to TV is kind of hit and miss it sometimes, because I think they focus too much on long, drawn-out chin locks. I understand the purpose of it. You're setting up your next sequence. I understand that. But do that during the commercial breaks. That's what it's for.
Yeah.
But I think at the other side, at the other point, we have to realize too that there's so many things that are going into Monday Night Raw, right? You have a live event for the fans there. They're watching it live. You have a TV production element to it at the same time. I don't know how they pulled it off. I don't know how they pull off that show every week. I really don't. I don't. There's so many different factors that go into Raw. It's like, I'll say this though. There's a saying that we have in the pipe bomb now. Go home. Go home and stay the fuck home. Byron Saxton, you need to go home and stay home.
He's not been doing very well.
David Otunga, even though you're a Chicago guy, you could join the list as well.
Skedaddle.
Speaking of list, man, who would have thought in 2016 everybody would be like, Chris Jericho's the best performer?
Yeah.
Everybody.
Oh.
I remember when I remember when Chris Jericho came back the first Raw 2016. He was like, they had that segment with him and New Day, which I thought was really funny.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, I'm going to be in the Royal Rumble match, and I'm going to throw you 3 unicorn wearing jackasses over the top rope. And everyone's like, all right, we get it. Enough with the Bon Jovi 1999 shtick. He wants something different. And then he goes back to this old WCW repertoire where he comes up with the simple yet most funniest shit you'll ever hear in your life.
It really is.
It started off with the gift of Jericho.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Drink it in, man. Do it. I know you're all drinking it in now. You'll be doing it tonight on Raw. Drinking in, man. We are recording this on a Monday, by the way. And also, like, you had obviously the list, the scarf for Jericho, which I thought was funny. I remember Hell in the Cell, and Mick Foley's like, "Oh, you stole the key, you did this." No, Foley, it was the key of Jericho. Lock it in, man. Oh, then what did he say last week? The cage of Jericho. I think it was.
Him and Foley are just great.
Yeah. Jericho, just the whole listing and getting. Look at this. He put a list and it over. Think about that. A written list and it
and
over.
Stupid idiot.
And stupid idiots.
Idiot. No one else can do that, honestly, in the whole roster.
Nobody.
Right
I know. You guys know my love for Broken Matt Hardy and his broken brilliance, but Chris Jericho is freaking phenomenal, and I could be happier for the guy. It's even come to the point where some people actually want to see Chris Jericho win the Royal Rumble or fight Kevin Owens for the Universal title at WrestleMania this year.
Hey, could happen. Never know.
Not a bad idea.
He's never won it.
That's true. He's also never won the Money in the Bank match, which he created. What else in 2016 stood out to you?
AJ Styles he really is the face that runs the place. When he first came in, because I was at the Royal Rumble, and that place just erupted with so many cheers. It was insane, and since then, he's just went uphill and just done phenomenal things in this business. Mm-hmm. And Vinnie Mac loves him.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and to go in person and see a lot of great wrestling matches in person. Chicago's been very fortunate with some of the matches and pay-per-views we've had here over the years, from Punk to Cena. Punk and Jericho had a couple great matches here. Brock and Cena had a really good one, the Extreme Rules one. The list goes on and on and on. Yeah. But getting to see AJ Styles versus Roman Reigns in person, I don't think that gets enough attention because obviously because it's Roman Reigns, but the atmosphere, I can't describe to you guys. You guys have to be there of how electric it was in that arena when AJ fought Roman Reigns at Payback. Mm-hmm. Speaking of Payback, the Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn first part of their WWE main roster feud. That was really good too. I thought there'd be a little bit more to storytelling, but I think say an old friend of mine says a lot. In wrestling, usually they don't remember your first title reigns or your first feuds. It's usually come in the second or thirds. Mm-hmm. So I think that'll come in with time. And think about this. There's a lot of youth, at least on-screen WWE experience. There's a lot of youth on the roster. Yes, you have a lot of people that wrestled in Ring of Honor and etc. for many years. But it's a totally different beast when you don't have on-screen WWE experience. I don't care what wrestler you are. It takes time, and people need to get adjusted to you. And I feel that a lot of younger guys are stepping up to the point where, a lot of people talk about, we don't need part-timers stealing spotlights at WrestleMania anymore. I do agree to a certain extent. I really do think after this year's WrestleMania or whenever the Undertaker decides to go to retire, I think they have enough on their table to have the WrestleMania with their own current talent. I think if one critique for Vince is, I think he mistaken bringing attraction to sell out the WrestleMania events. The brand sells out the WrestleMania events, not the part-timer guys. The brand sells it out. Case in point, WrestleMania sold out AT&T Stadium with a card that wasn't even the greatest of all time of WrestleManias, if you really look at it from a long-term perspective. They sold that. The brand itself sold that out. But hey, you listen to Vince Russo, the business is at an all-time low. Just saying. Um, and it's funny. Like people are like, "Oh, it's so hard to fill out the Alamo Dome." I just said a middle of the road card for WrestleMania sold out AT&T Stadium. You telling me that the Royal Rumble with the match card we had so far can't fill out the Alamo Dome? Come on, man.
It's the Royal Rumble.
I think people are underestimating how big the brand has become, at least from a business standpoint. Think about this, Justin. I look at this more definitely because I cover this for a living.
Right.
Couple times throughout the quarter year for 2016, they had the highest revenue in company history on 2 different occasions. That's saying something. I think the network subscriptions will come up soon. I think they will rise. I think that's still something they need to work on, but obviously it's a new platform. That's going to take a long time. I mean, it took Netflix like 5 or 6 years to get over like 10 million people. No, over 500 million people to get it and stuff. So my case in point is like there's more than meets the eye. I know we watch the programming. Well, I shouldn't say that because most of the time people are just on Twitter looking and seeing what everybody else is saying on the show instead of actually paying attention to the show.
Unfortunately.
Which would change in 2017, but it's whatever. How about this? Before we get into like awards and this and that, maybe it's just me, but I really thought that all the pay-per-views were really good. There was a lot of them towards the end of the year because obviously we had the 2 shows. But for the little to no time they had to build those particular shows, I think they delivered very well in the wrestling matches.
Right? Yeah. Also, for the time they had it was a good card for each pay-per-view. They had for the perfect amount of time. That's very impressive. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you look back at shows like Backlash or No Mercy, which by the way, Battleground was good too. By the way, it's kind of cool to get those old school pay-per-view titles back. But
I like it.
At the same time, like I was mentioning, No Mercy, Backlash, Roadblock. They had Payback,
SummerSlam.
I think what we're realizing as fans is that in these in between periods between like a Raw to a SummerSlam or a SummerSlam to a Survivor Series or Survivor Series back to Rumble. No, my bad. Rumble's a Mania. I want to make that perfectly clear. I got that wrong. Rumble to Mania, Mania to SummerSlam, SummerSlam to Survivor Series to the Rumble. Realize is those time periods are those in between times are spent on character development. You're not getting a SummerSlam or Mania level pay-per-view at Payback, nor should you expect it to be that way.
No, you should never.
I mean, I want to have the best show possible for everything that's out there content-wise. Absolutely, I want the best shows all the time, whether it's Raw or whatever we're watching. But you have to be realistic too. At the same time, I appreciate shows that have more character development that builds towards the big marquee shows. You know what I mean, Justin?
No, I agree, definitely.
Because all the things line up to have an epic show. So I could take character development shows for about a third of the year to have 4 badass specials. Like seriously. And if you go into 2017, somewhere down the road, the Big 4 will be exclusively in stadium shows.
I can definitely see that. Like, oh man, yeah.
That's like the Rumble, Rumble's right at Alamo Dome.
SummerSlam might be like maybe it could go to the Jet Stadium.
Maybe.
You never know. Maybe.
I mean, they need to stop with the multiple arena shows though. I can't stand a Barclay crowd. I'm sorry. I know Brooklyn is hardcore wrestling fans and just I can't stand those crowds. You know what's interesting? everybody talks about the Roman Reigns thing. It's a never ending topic. You know, a guy's over when you can't get the guy off your brain. You can't talk. Literally, there's always a
Most talk
discussion
about.
thread on the guy, whether it's positive or negative. There's always a thread about Roman Reigns. 24/7. I see it every time on my timeline on Twitter every day or on Facebook.
Hmm.
I'll say this. Roman Reigns is not my favorite guy on the roster, but I love his matches. I think the guy is very underrated for what that guy does in the ring. Um, the guy, we talk about things being shoved down your throat and this and that. I want to bring some context to this. When John Cena was having his mega push like 5 or 6 years ago, or maybe 7, maybe like the 2008, 2009 era.
Yeah.
John Cena was on. This was a 2-hour Raw, by the way. I want to make this very clear. John Cena was on 5 segments per Raw during that time period. Now going back to Roman Reigns now in 2016 in a 3-hour show, 2 segments, a talking segment and a match.
The thing about Roman Reigns,
I just want to bring. Go ahead, Jess. I want to hear from you. Go ahead.
I just wish he just changed, just because he's the only person in the whole show that is still wearing the whole gear, the entrance, like the theme song. I just want that change away, I want him to be better than Mike. He doesn't have to be a heel. That's fine. Be a babyface. Be the John Cena. I'm a fan of him. He's not one of my favorite guys, but he's a great wrestler. He's gotten better than Mike. I will say that for sure this year. He's gotten better. Just keep short and simple.
I agree with you with the music stuff. I think whenever you have a faction, you need to change all your characters' theme music or like gear and all this other stuff. Like when the Wyatts first thought they were gonna disband and all this other crap. Harper had his own song. I like to see more music changes. Maybe it's because I'm a music nut, but I like to see more the music changes for some of these sounds throughout the year.
I agree completely.
I think it'd be something that helps. Though I'm glad they got rid of that original Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, thing. That was not Raw music.
I really think that was terrible. Terrible. But the Raw and SmackDown one for now they got is really, really badass. I got to see that in person, and it's freaking huge. It's really, really cool to see in person.
It's a Raw theme song. It really is.
All right, let's start off with this. Most improved WWE performer. You can also add NXT people in this. Okay. Give me at least 5 to 10 people.
All right. Can we go first?
No, you can go first.
Okay. Braun Strowman is definitely number 1 for me. The Miz. I would say definitely Charlotte this year. She's definitely improved from last year. Just the best women's wrestler on the whole roster. She's probably one of the most over wrestlers in the whole roster right now. She's amazing on the mic. And then for number 4, I would have to go with
Is that a Christmas Heat shirt, by the way? Just realizing this.
It is. It is a white side number 21.
Oh man.
Sami Zayn. I want to say Sami Zayn, but he didn't really have much of a year. Just only with Braun Strowman and Kevin Owens. That was the only 2 feuds he really had. And then I'll have to go with Dolph Ziggler. Oh man, yeah, Ziggler. Definitely Ziggler. He had a great year this year.
Absolutely. Here's a couple ones for me that I have. Alexa Bliss. It's one that stood out to me because I'll be honest. Obviously she's hot as hell. I mean, she's absolutely gorgeous, even though she's a Ohio State fan. Um, well, she comes from there, so I understand. But
Yeah.
at the same time, like I didn't see much of her in NXT. Like I know everybody says everything NXT does is flawless. There's no problems with NXT, and NXT could do no wrong. But I really didn't care for Blake and Murphy. I really didn't. I knew Taz did this on the show, the Blake and Murphy Steakhouse. I thought that was funny, but at the same time, I just didn't care for the group, and I thought it was hurting Alexa to a certain extent. I really did, and she really came out of nowhere, man. And the stuff she does in the ring and her Harley Quinn look is freaking hot.
Yeah.
Like it's phenomenal. By the way, when we close this show out today, I think we might have some time to talk about Raw tonight with Taker and Shawn coming back, because I have an idea for Shawn Michaels that me and Justin were talking about this over the weekend. Anyways, here we go. Matches. I there's so many out there. This is the fun part about this. You know what's great about wrestling? The best and worst part about this is that we know that wrestling is subjective, but at the same time, people are so. I feel, at least in my opinion, wrestling fans in the general are kind of narrow-minded. It's like, if it's not this way, it's my way or the highway type of thing. But there's so many great matches. Like, I can't just say, "Oh, this is the greatest match ever," and there's no other way to look at it.
Mm-hmm. For me, it's between John Cena and AJ Styles at SummerSlam, and then Shinsuke Nakamura and Sami Zayn. I'm going to have to go with Sami Zayn and Nakamura for the best match of 2016. That was just one of the best storytelling match of the whole year. Both unbelievably phenomenal wrestling. Zayn, he's probably the greatest storyteller in the whole roster right now. He's just phenomenal. And then Samoa Joe, I thought, had a good match with Nakamura this year too, in the steel cage.
All right, get ready, everybody. I'm gonna spew off a lot of matches that deserve consideration. All right, let's start it off from the beginning. All right, KO versus Dean Ambrose at the Royal Rumble, the last man standing match.
That was perfect.
Going Brock, Dean, and Roman at Fastlane. I thought that was the only good match for that pay-per-view. Charlotte, Bayley, and Charlotte, Sasha, and Becky from WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. Not only the match, but what it signified. The fact that, yes, I get it, the roster was really injured during that time period, but still, the women were one of the marquee attraction matches for that particular WrestleMania. I don't care what anybody says. You got to get credit for the women there for that alone. Yeah. AJ Roman, that speaks for itself. Both Extreme Rules and Payback. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Battleground and Payback. Miz, Cesaro, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens. No, my bad. No, Miz. Yeah, I think I got it right.
Yeah, you got it right.
Miz, Cesaro. Yeah, Miz, Cesaro, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, the 4-way IC title match at Extreme Rules. You want to talk about storytelling in a multi-man match? That's one right there you need to see.
How about the IC title match at Mania?
The ladder match? Yeah, that one was really good.
Pretty good.
Jericho and AJ, I thought, had a couple of really good ones on Raw too. Let's see what else. Again, think about this. It's 2017. We're talking about Miz in greatest matches. The guy is freaking phenomenal. You can keep on your hate from the past, but you can't deny this guy is killing it right now. Miz, Dolph Ziggler, Backlash, No Mercy, TLC. What I appreciated about 2016 was the long-term feuds that kept going. There needs to be more of that. Rusev and Roman Reigns, I thought had underrated
Yeah.
matches.
Oh, I do.
Will it be the match of the year? Probably not. But
Mm.
Rusev and Roman had good chemistry. Excuse me. Um, also, obviously AJ Styles and John Cena was obviously his choice. Their match at Money in the Bank was freaking. Was it Money in the Bank?
They
Yeah, it
had
was
two,
Money in the
yeah.
Bank
Money Bank and
because they
SummerSlam.
had that tag team match at Battleground.
Mm-hmm.
I remember. Yeah, the Shield.
Yep.
The Shield fought at Battleground. Think about that. That was awesome. Um, some NXT matches because I know people are like, oh, when are you gonna bring up the NXT matches? Um, I thought Bailey and Asuka had a
Yeah.
very good match at NXT Takeover Dallas. I was kind of bored with their Brooklyn one, to be honest with you. It didn't do anything for me. American Alpha versus the Revival, NXT Takeover Dallas.
And DIY.
Zayn DIY against Revival, NXT Takeover Toronto was the big one. Obviously, the tag team wrestling art right there, ladies and gentlemen.
It really is.
It was really, really good. I want to throw in some ones for the CWC because I got to cover that one very in depthly, and I love that tournament a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Cedric Alexander, Kota Ibushi. If you guys haven't seen that match yet, it was really, really awesome. Going back to Kota Ibushi, him and Brian Kendrick had a very, very good match. Other ones that stood out, like I thought Graham Metalik and Akira Tozawa had a very good match.
I thought the Brian Kendrick and TJ Perkins was a great feud. Brian Kendrick.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Is probably
Brian Kendrick's the
most
freaking
improved.
man.
He is probably.
I know in the sports where we talk about comeback players of the year. If I had a comeback player or comeback wrestler of the year, it'd be the Brian Kendrick. How about that?
Of course.
TJ Perkins, Graham Metalik. Oh, Perkins and Ibushi had a very good match, and then can't forget Zack Sabre Jr. Right? that guy's a freaking freak. But there's so many good matches, man. This AJ, Dean Ambrose, and John Cena from No Mercy. I thought that was really, really good. Those two started off the show. No, those three started off the show. How about pay-per-views?
Oh man, I want to say SummerSlam so far this year.
SummerSlam?
Yeah, I might want to say that, or Battleground.
SummerSlam was very good. Battleground was pretty solid too. I'm biased because I was at the show, but Payback was a really good pay-per-view in my opinion because that's when they really started the pumping for the new era segment, and we got the first hits of the brand split when they had the Shane, Stephanie, and Vince segment in Payback, and I'm one for appreciate things that I have while it's going on. And to get to see Shane McMahon, seeing all the McMahons in the ring in person, you don't really know when's the last time you're going to see that. And to get to see that, and the fact the brand split came back out of it's truly phenomenal. Seeing Shane McMahon back in the company, it's pretty freaking cool. I never thought we would see Shane McMahon back in the company.
No, I'm so glad he's come back.
I really thought TLC was a very good pay-per-view for the SmackDown brand. With all that was in, with the fact they only had 2 weeks to build coming on Survivor Series, and they had that long drawn-out stuff with James Ellsworth, they killed it on that pay-per-view. AJ and Dean Ambrose's TLC match was freaking insane.
That was a great match.
Phenomenal. Phenomenal.
I would say the Royal Rumble was that was a great for Rumble this year because I was there live. The last man standing with Owens and Ambrose, the Royal Rumble match, and you had what's he had? Ziggler and who else? Was it Ziggler and Rollins?
No. Kalisto and Del Rio had a good match.
They did.
That show.
They did. That was a pretty good match.
Charlotte and Becky.
Yep.
You know, it's interesting you brought up the Rumble because that's been a big point of contention during this era of the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I can understand because the name of it's the Royal Rumble, and that's the attraction you want to see. And yeah, if you don't get the winner you want to Rumble, it's like, oh, this pay-per-view fucking sucked. Like, but still, like, there's been good. I think in the overall landscape, I thought the Rumble the past couple years has been good for other matches besides the Rumble. If you look back, Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, John Cena a couple years ago in Philly. Bray Wyatt, Daniel Bryan, the Royal Rumble. I thought Cena and Orton had a very good match at that pay-per-view too. I think what's cool about the brand split is that we don't have to worry about this overclouding hate towards the Rumble, the build to WrestleMania now, because we got the brand split. It does. I'll tell you guys this right now. In 2017, in my opinion, I don't care who wins the Royal Rumble this year because it doesn't matter who wins the Royal Rumble. There's 2 title matches this year. Whoever wins, what I loved about the brand split back in the day is that we didn't have to have these silly arguments over who won the Rumble. There wasn't just one definitive match. Now we get whoever wins this match can decide who wants to go after the WWE title or WWE Universal title. So. I think that's a very interesting thing to look at when it comes to the Rumble this year. Think about this as we're going to close out the show soon. We got Cena and Styles, right? For the WWE title, we got AJ. We got Roman versus KO for the Universal title. That's gonna be good. They always have good matches. Charlotte versus Bayley.
That's gonna be a good match. I think.
Going down. Cesaro and Sheamus, by the way, one of the underrated things about 2016. Cesaro and Sheamus becoming a tag team, and also New Day breaking the tag team record for longest reign. That needs to be noticed. Yeah, man. Cesaro and Sheamus probably gets the versus the Club. At the Royal Rumble, probably.
And the American Alpha against probably the Wyatts. Ooh.
Either that or
I think you froze, Josh. Uh-oh.
Freeze.
You there, Josh? All right.
I froze. My bad.
Yeah,
sorry about that, guys. See, it would have been a lot worse if I had my camera on right now. Yeah, man. Think about the Miz and Dean Ambrose possibly for the IC title. But here's what I wanted to talk about as we close out the show because we all love some fantasy booking, right? What's wrong with a little fantasy booking, huh?
Nothing.
Me and Justin are going to be in O-Town coming up soon. I'm going to be going down there on March 30th. March 30th can't come quick enough.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to get there early Thursday morning / afternoon time, so I'm looking forward to it.
Morning till Tuesday, yeah.
It's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be lit.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Wonderful. Delightful. Royal Rumble's coming up, and I know there's a lot of speculation of who should win and who's going to be in the match and all this other stuff. There's so many. This Rumble match is going to be freaking stacked too, man. You got Goldberg, you got Brock, you got Rollins, probably Jericho's in there, New Day's in there.
Strowman,
Barry Corbin. Speaking of people that improved a lot, Barry Corbin.
For sure.
Man, Seth Rollins probably. Oh, here we go. This is what I wanted to get to. Tonight, Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker return to Monday Night Raw tonight, right? They made the announcement WrestleMania 34 will be at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans next year. I'm going to be down there. That's why I'm making this perfectly known, everybody. I'm gonna have my personal vacation every year at WrestleMania until I work for the company. That's that's what I'm gonna do now. I had a blast. I learned a lot of great life lessons. It was my first trip out of Chicago out of my own without chaperones or this or that. To go out there by yourself, and yeah, I went out there as a business trip because I was covering the event, but this time I'm going out there and just going there to have a good time. If I get to go in the press box for WrestleMania 33 in that 10-team World Stadium, then then so be it. But if not, I'm gonna have a fun time either way. I get hang out with people. They're good peeps. I can hang out with Justin.
Get lit.
Hopefully I get to meet some of you guys down there. So it'll be a lot of fun. So Shawn Michaels and Undertaker on the show tonight, and Seth Rollins has been calling out Triple H out a lot, a lot. I have a feeling Seth Rollins. Yeah, I get it. Shawn Michaels has to promote his new WWE Films movie. I get that. We'll get that out of the way. But I have a feeling that Triple H. No, not Triple H. My bad. Shawn Michaels and Seth Rollins are going to be in the ring with each other tonight. I think that's why he's there. I think he's going to be like to advise Seth Rollins to be careful what you wish for. Look back at the stuff that happened with the Daniel Bryan Triple H feud going to WrestleMania 30. Think about it. Shawn Michaels was there to warn them beforehand. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's going to happen, man. I think it's either other or no, my bad. Shawn and Rollins in the ring together, or Stephanie, Shawn Michaels, and Seth Rollins in the ring together, and then Rollins can be like, "I'm gonna win the Royal Rumble, and there's nobody that's gonna stop me getting back the title." I think Rollins could declare himself for the Rumble. I do. If it's out of nowhere that Rollins and Triple H fight at the Royal Rumble, I'll be shocked. I'll be very shocked. But you never know. Who knows? Maybe Triple H shows up tonight. Maybe he does. You always hear the old phrase: "Be careful what you wish for."
Yeah, they have to have ratings because the national college game is on tonight. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think they'll have either Shawn or Taker come out whenever the halftime of that game goes on. But there's also a lot of good side stories that are going on with the company right now, at least for Raw. So we'll see what certain feuds get placed throughout the show tonight. I'm looking forward to it. I haven't covered Raw in a long while. I usually don't cover Raw for the Zone to Wrestle. I usually let my other guy, Lovell Porter, give him a follow at above average LP on Twitter. He's a really cool guy. So yeah, for me, I think it'll be Seth Rollins and HBK in the ring tonight on Raw.
That sounds like gold to me.
And I also think Undertaker is going to declare for the Royal Rumble.
Ooh.
Yes, I think Taker declares himself in the Rumble, and I want to toss out this idea that I showed to Justin yesterday on Facebook Messenger. I have a feeling that The Miz is going to win the Royal Rumble, and I think AJ Styles cost The Undertaker the Royal Rumble match out of frustration losing the title to John Cena earlier in the night. I see it happening. Cena, I don't know if we'll see him as a heel or not. I really don't know. As the saying goes, it happens if it happens. It'll be special if it does happen. However, I think that Undertaker does announce his declaration in the Royal Rumble. So I can't wait for Raw tonight. I really can't wait.
I would not mind seeing John Cena versus The Undertaker for the WWE title at WrestleMania. And The Undertaker just retires in the ring. But then again, you said they have WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans. That's where the streak died. And what a perfect place for him to retire, go in the Hall of Fame, where the streak just ended. It would make sense.
Yes. And I can't wait for it, man. It's gonna be freaking awesome. Think about this. We get to see Goldberg possibly for the last time in the ring in WrestleMania in Orlando this year.
Yep.
Think about that, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Maybe there's been a lot of speculation that maybe Dana Bryan and The Miz have a match. What do you think about that?
I'll believe it when I see it. But it would be a really damn shame if we didn't get a match out of those two.
Yeah.
And there's some part of me that doesn't believe that Daniel Bryan is never going to wrestle again.
Yeah,
people say he can come in for a one-off, but I'm not buying that. I think he might have another run with him.
It's just the WWE doctors
I really
are not clearing him. His other doctors are clearing him, but the doctors in the business are not clearing him. That's the thing, which I can understand.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I think once the concussion lawsuit that they're dealing with all the other former wrestlers goes away, then they'll probably clear Daniel Bryan. Because I honestly feel that's the reason why they made him make that announcement.
Mm-hmm.
They have so many these former athletes, all these former wrestlers suing them for concussion and CTE things, but none of these wrestlers forget the fact that they knew what they were signing up for when they got into the business in the first place.
Exactly, like football, you're gonna get hurt no matter what because you're gonna be physical and hitting people and tackling. It's football.
Hey, you're not falling on bouncing mats and stuff. You're falling on wood and canvas.
Mm-hmm. So, and entire stuff, like, good God.
Mm-hmm. Overall, 2016 was a great year for the WWE. We're already in week 2 of the WWE week programming cycle, so we'll see what goes on heading into the Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble's going to be at the end of the month, so we got Raw tonight. We got about 2 more Raws after tonight's show before the Royal Rumble, so looking forward to it. Justin, thanks for coming on, my man. Let everybody else know where they can find you on social media.
You can follow me at I am Justin Hill. You can follow our show that we do for sports talking at the sports_drive. Have a lot of fun. And it was a great year to be a wrestling fan in 2016.
Absolutely. Guys, you can follow me on Twitter at Notorious Joshi. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to check out my wrestling podcast, the Josh Lopez Wrestling Podcast. I'll be recording that tomorrow in the morning. Get that out of the way. Hope you guys enjoy it. You can subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, leave a review, rating, and subscribe. Make sure to like this video and subscribe. You can check out all my previous episodes of the Josh Lopez Wrestling Podcast. Also, check out the Sports Drive as well. We have all our previous 135 episodes of that Rat Bastard show. And check out some of my old wrestling interviews I did. I think I got over 30 wrestling interviews that I did back in the old Pro Wrestling Experience days on there. So go check that out. I have a fun interview I did with Jim Ross about a year ago.
Yeah, that was
really meant a lot to me because JR is my idol. Is the reason why I got into wrestling in the first place. That was a lot of fun. So check out Monday Night Raw tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. Justin, thanks for coming on again, my man.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll talk to you next time.